Have you ever felt abandoned by God? Like your prayers hit the ceiling and fall back into your lap, unanswered and unheard? There are moments in life when silence feels louder than any voice, when we stand on the edge of our own hope and wonder if we are the truly alone. This is one of those moments. But what if the silence is not absence? What if feeling forsaken is not the end of your faith, but the beginning of something deeper? Psalm 1 opens, not with despair, but with a contrast. It says, "Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers." At first glance, it feels like a moral checklist. Don't do this, don't do that. But look again. This verse isn't about punishment. It's about protection. It's an invitation away from the paths that promise comfort, but end in destruction. And in those moments when you feel abandoned by God, this contrast becomes a mirror. Are you rooted by still waters, or are you drifting toward voices that pull you further from peace? But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night, not out of fear, not to earn favor, but because in the silence when answers don't come, you begin to realize that God's voice has already spoken through his word. Meditating day and night doesn't mean forced repetition. It means turning toward truth even when you don't feel it. It means choosing to sit in the presence of God's promises, not because they were loud, but because they were lasting. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season. That word planted, it was not accidental. You don't drift into peace. You are planted into it deliberately, deeply. Even when everything around you feels dry and desolate, the root you've built in truth can still draw life from the source. But let's be honest, there are times when those roots feel brittle, when you read promises like, "God will never leave you," and all you feel is distance, when you hear that you are loved, but all you sense is silence. What then remember? Even trees planted by water don't bear fruit every day. The song says in season, there are seasons of abundance, and there are seasons of silence, but neither one defines the tree. The roots do. Faith is not the absence of doubt. Faith is the decision to stay rooted. Even when the rain doesn't come, even when the soil feels dry, even when your branches feel bare, because fruit is not instant, and healing is not always loud. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Chaff is weightless. It has no root, no substance. It moves wherever the wind takes it, wherever emotion leads. And when we feel forsaken, the temptation is to become like chaff, to let bitterness carry us, to let doubt scatter us, to let the silence define us. But you are not chaff. You are planted. Even if you don't feel it right now, even if your faith is hanging on by a thread, you are more rooted than you think. Because faith isn't proven in the harvest, it's proven in the drought. And God is not absent just because he is quiet. His silence is not a rejection. It is an invitation to trust without proof, to hope without certainty, to worship without reward. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. That phrase, watches over in Hebrew, it means more than supervision. It means intimate care, like a gardener with his plants, like a shepherd with his sheep. He sees you, not from a distance, but right where you are, even when you don't feel him, even when you cry out and hear nothing back, even when you sit in the dark and wonder if your prayers are just whispers into the void. He watches over your way, not just your victories, but your valleys, not just your joy, but your grief, not just your strength, but your surrender. Psalm 1 isn't a command to be perfect. It's a compass that points us back when we feel lost. It says you are blessed, not because your life is easy, but because your roots are real, because you are planted by a source that doesn't run dry. So what does that mean for you, right now, in the silence? It means your tears are not wasted. It means your questions are not failures. It means your struggle does not disqualify your faith. It means you, still seen, still held, still loved. Let that be enough for today. Let it be the reason you stay rooted. Even if the rain hasn't come, even if the fruit hasn't grown, even if the silence hasn't broken. Because Psalm 1 is not a promise of constant feeling. It furs a promise of constant presence. And sometimes, when everything else is stripped away, presence is enough. Stay planted. Let the roots do their work in the dark, because the season will change. And when it does, you will not just survive, you will bear fruit.